Okay, everyone, this is going to be part of that Back to Basics sort of series, or some of the videos I'll be doing Back to Basics, meaning real simple cooking 101, kitchen 101. Okay, I got some, today I'll be cutting up this chicken, show y'all how I cut up a chicken. Not a butcher, I'm not a meat cutter, but I'm going to show you how I do it. I got some chicken, a whole chicken. It's called a whole fryer, this one, not a big chicken. And I got it for 59 cents a pound, which is a fabulous deal nowadays. And when you buy it, this is how you buy it. All kind of like, not really vacuum packed, but all in a package. And if you can see there, you see there's a lot of liquid in there. So when you go to open this, if you've never bought a chicken, a whole chicken, when you go to open it, make sure you open it over. See this? This is like chicken feathers. So I like to save my wing tip. So all I do is basically, this is your whole chicken. Now, this chicken came without the neck and the giblets, which is like the gizzards and the liver and stuff of the chicken. This one didn't have any. But sometimes in this chicken cavity will be a little paper wrapped, and it'll have the necks and the gizzard and the liver of the chicken. Okay, so this is just like extra fat and stuff of the chicken, so I just remove that. And I get me a bag, usually like a little, this is a, dollar store bag or a Walmart bag, whatever kind of bag, a little garbage bag. And then I'll remove this in piece. And you can go about it how you want, but I might clean up this. Sometimes I do it this first, sometimes I do it when I do the end of it. Okay, you're gonna have, this is gonna be your thigh, your leg right there, thigh right here. Right here on your, between your leg and your thigh is gonna be the joint. If you take your finger and you feel around in there, you just kind of feel around in the joint, and it does, mine sometimes is not perfect, but you feel around for the joint, watch your fingers, take a little slice, and then feel some more. And then if you get it to where you have it between the, just work your knife and get it, sometimes I cut the bone, I don't worry about that, that's not a big deal. And you just remove your leg, okay? Now you can do it, like I said, a couple of ways. Let me show you how the other way you can do it. You can remove the thigh from the and this chicken is going to be very wet, so you want to be really careful. Okay, to separate the thigh, same thing, you're going to feel there's a joint there, you see. Just put your knife in between that joint, and then you can pop that joint. There's your joint. Be careful, remove your hand and slide your knife. Okay, there you got a leg quarter. If you've ever bought like bags of leg quarters, that's what you're going to have. So then from there, you can go and remove. Either way you want to do it. I find it's easier to hold on to the leg and kind of slice. See there, we didn't slice the joint as much, but when you're going to cook these chicken parts, trust me, it's not going to make a big deal. Basically, all you want to do is separate your chicken parts from a whole chicken. So there's your thigh. So now, so far, we have 2 legs and 1 thigh. So here we're going to go and remove this next thigh. And I find it easy to pop it back. If you're very squeamish, this might bother you. It doesn't bother me. I used to be a nurse, so it totally doesn't bother me. And once you have it popped, and like I said, I am not a meat cutter or a butcher or anything like that. This is just how I cut a chicken for myself. Okay, here's the wing part. Same thing. Get in there. Pull your knife through there. Pull it again if you need be. And it's a little awkward because, of course, I got the camera in my way. So I'm not working with my chicken right under me. There, pop that joint and get your knife in there. Right in there. And then you cut it away. And if you want, like if you're just roasting your chicken parts or whatever, you can take this wingtip and tuck it like that and it'll stay. Or some people cut off the wingtip. I don't like to cut it off. Okay, let's try to see if I can show y'all at a better angle here. Just give that a good slice. Put your knife down is usually the best way. And pop that joint. Twist it back. You want to be careful because your knife is going across this hand. So I kind of pull it out the way like that. Let's go. Let me see if I can swing around the camera like that. Okay, and you want to just work your knife slowly. Now this is a ceramic knife, so I'm being pretty gentle. Rest side of the chicken. Here we got the backbone side. I'll take and see through here is no bone. It's just a, so your knife will slide right through there. Same on this side. Trying to go slow so you can pick up on the camera. There is some bone, little bitty bones right there. Get it between, you know, away from that bone. Slide it through there. Cut that. Pop. I just pop the back right off and get my knife through there. So there you got the back, or part of it. See? This part, if you don't want to eat it, don't want to put it in a stew, or don't want to cook it any kind of way, this is fabulous for chicken bone broth. Put parts in there, the bony parts, the wing tips and such, and you can make some chicken broth with that. Okay, same with here. You will feel around. This will be the ribs. Okay, the ribs right there. And right here, I can literally put my thumb in there. So I take my knife and I cut through that. Trying to cut closer to the ribs, but again, if you're making it with bone broth, I just pop that off of there. Okay. Put that aside. And this part is probably I just do it my way. It's certainly not the right way, and it's probably a wrong way, but I promise you it will get the chicken apart. Okay, there's your ribs. You can see kind of your rib bones. And get your knife through there. Get your hand out the way, though. And it goes through there. And you can also take this part of the backbone and separate it like this. Now, of course, I'm trying to be careful. And you see my cutting board sliding away? I'm going to show you a trick right now. This is a wet washcloth towel, kitchen towel. I'm going to pick up my board before this gets too crazy. And I'm going to put this down like that. And I'm going to put my board back down. Okay, that's going to help it. Now, I do have another plastic that's kind of slide around a little bit on the table, but now, like I said, this part of the chicken, I literally just chop it up. I don't, see, I pull it like that. get my knife in there. And again, like I said, this is a ceramic knife, so I'm not, I'm not cutting through bones or anything. I'm trying to be quite careful because it's a ceramic knife. But there's kind of like the tendons or whatever. Like I said, I don't know the whole anatomy of the chicken. I'm just showing you how I get my chicken apart. I don't proclaim to be a chicken cutter. Okay, so there you got your backbone, your rib bones. Not your backbone. This is your backbone. This is your rib bone. See the rib cage? And this was your neck. Part of the neck. So these two parts are delicious in stews. I really kind of like to eat the meat off of it. But if you don't, just don't throw that away. Save that for chicken broth. Now, here's if you want to roast a whole chicken breast, there you have it right there. See, there's still some bone in there. And you can do a couple things. You can take the breast meat off the bone. You can separate it and leave it on the bone. Whatever you want to do. So, let's see. I'm going to show you how, if you want to separate some of the chicken breast meat, you take your knife and you just run it gently, very slowly. Run it down there because you have a bone, like a cartilage in there. And you can separate it real easily by running your knife very slowly. And then kind of separating it with your fingers even, which I find it's easier to do. Take your finger in there and just and I know I'll probably get some criticism from this, but hey, as long as you get your chicken apart, we're not like on any kind of special judging by this. We're just getting the chicken apart. How, if you want to get it apart for meals in your kitchen. Now, this part, this is the regular breast part. This big part, you can recognize it. If you see boneless, skinless breast, this is what you're going to basically get. If you ever bought chicken tenders, this is what you'll get. Okay? That's the chicken tender part. Okay? This is the big breast part. And you're going to have, obviously, 2 of each of those. You'll have 2 of everything. 2 legs, 2 thighs, 2 halves of a chicken breast. And the only thing you'll have 1 of is the backbone, the rib cage, and the breastbone. So again, you can just cut all this skin and fat if you want off. If I'm roasting a chicken, I like to leave a lot of that on there. Definitely all the skin and just about all the fat. But you can see how I can cut it away by pulling this gently and running my knife through. It separates very easily. And like I said, I'm mainly doing this type of video for somebody who is very new to the kitchen and has never bought a whole chicken, and maybe they want to buy a whole chicken because it's a lot cheaper, for one thing, and you want to separate the parts. Just watch your hand, that's the biggest thing. And I just run my knife gently next to that cartilage there. There's a big cartilage running through it's the breastbone part. Okay, separate it and do it very gently so you don't slip with your fingers, because chicken can be very wet and kind of slimy, sort of. Okay, get this part off, cut that part off. There's your second chicken tender. right there. And it's always going to have this ligament tendon, I think it's a tendon running through it. And you can see it right there, the white thing. Okay. And then there is your other breast. Your boneless, skinless breast. Okay. And this is your breastbone. Your whole breastbone part. So what I do to make chicken broth, which I can do another video how to do that very easily, especially if you have a electric pressure cooker, slow cooker. Easy way. I do it in the slow cooker. Okay, so there's your parts. These will be your parts, and maybe those wing tips that I cut one off for you. All your bony parts, you can put those in a slow cooker with onions and celery and whatnot. But what I do is when I cut a chicken apart like that, I'll take these parts and I'll stick them in a freezer bag and mark, chicken broth parts or something like that, so you'll know that's what it's for. Put that in the freezer, and I wait until I have like pretty many, like maybe these 2 chickens. That'll be enough. Put that in, and so, but my other chicken I may leave whole roast. I'm not sure yet, but I may cut it apart, and if I do, I definitely will save this. Okay, if you have any questions about what I've done here, feel free to ask. If you have any pointers to add to it, feel free to add them to it. Okay, guys, so I surely hope this helps somebody, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.